Hello, everybody. Just bear with me for a second. I'm going to promote people here. Hello, everybody. Bear with me for a second. I'm going to promote people here. Okay. Just bear with me. Let's see who else do we have left? Promote. Hey, everybody. Okay. All right, let's see. Hey, y'all looking beautiful today. Where's everybody else? Where's Tessa?
Thank you. So do you.
Where's Tessa? Can somebody get her? Where's she? And then somebody get Miss Lady Nevere. Hey, Leka.
Was Tessa supposed to join us live? Because I don't think Tessa
Yeah.
was on live.
She said yes yesterday.
No, she said she thought it was the meeting.
No, she reached out to me and I differentiated the two.
Oh.
It didn't have something to do with you guys, but this one is a separate thing. So if she's ready, she can hop on now. Let's try. Can somebody get Lady Nevere for me?
I'll reach out.
Okay, thank you.
I guess
we are live right now, y'all. So make sure that you're not using your, if you have another device, use that for to look at the comments, but do not use a computer or whatever you're on. Do not use that for the comments or something like that. I think it won't work. You look cute, Ramona P. Jay, are you guys trying to play the short air thing here?
No, we know you was gonna be looking beautiful, so we had to get up on here, right?
Amen to that. You're looking fabulous. Now let me get us on there so I can see people's comment. Can we share? See if you're able to share and invite people. Let's see now. Somebody's waiting. I think. Okay, Lady Nevere is waiting. Okay. Hey, Lady Nevere. She should be okay now. We are. Yeah, the ladies in the house. How are you? So now we wait for. Let's see. Are we all here? I think Tessa is the only. That's weird that Tessa thought. All right.
I thought I think she was just on Instant Messenger.
Yeah, she was moving it. All right. So I'm going to share now. Let's try and share it for as much as we can. Join us. Okay, let's see.
So we Facebook Live now?
Yes, we are right now. So people are looking at you right now. Just so you know. I'm just letting you know.
Okay, thank you.
Just so you know. All right. So we're gonna act like ladies here.
as we usually do.
Like we always do anyway.
Always do.
We never let the camera catch you unawares.
Hello. Oh, I see us.
Look at Lady Nevere. Look at her with all the nails and everything. Oh, yeah, You can watch it on if you have a separate device.
That's cool.
Yeah, you can share it there. So let's share on our own pages and things like that. Let's see now.
This is so cool. Should I go back to muting myself?
Yeah, and the cool thing about the webinar Zoom here is I can actually project it on you.
Oh, I missed you. You broke up. What happened? Say that again.
Oh, Well, maybe you don't need to hear that.
Okay. I think you said you could zoom in on me or each individual person, right?
Well, if that's what you heard, then that's what it is.
Something like that.
Let me try and share it here.
Oh, it's a delay. It's so funny.
Did you Ramona, were you able to get her?
I texted her, but I didn't hear anything.
Tessa is not joining us today.
Okay.
What happened?
She she told me that she was not going to join yesterday, and she's not prepared to come on this morning at this time.
Okay.
Because I reached out to her and she didn't pick. I tried chatting her up that her attention is needed on. Seems not to say anything.
Okay. All right, let's hear and then we will begin. Hello, everybody.
Delay. Right to your audience.
All right, so okay, everybody. Are we ready, ladies?
Ready.
Are we ready to rumble?
Let's get ready to rumble.
All right, that's cool. You all look beautiful, by the way. There's more people coming in, so
okay.
Let me see if I can because there are times when you project it on other website, like other Facebook, they're able to look at it from that place. If it's live, they're able to look at it.
Or are we just on Facebook?
What do you mean? What are you trying to? You can put it on Twitter too.
How you do that?
Yeah, you can send people to it on Twitter.
How do I do that? Just go to
Twitter. Well, you're live, Ramona Phillip. You can do your little chat on that Facebook thing, but you're live now. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Hey, Linda, thank you. Linda, Tessa, as you all come in, please share. Andrea, thank you for joining. Linda, please get Tessa and tell her to be, I think with Tessa, there was just an error yesterday. There was a mix-up between the two events. It is well. It is well. Somebody get her in there so she can move it around. Thank you for joining. Andrea, thank you for joining. Demetria, thank you. Good morning. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, Krista, my dear, thank you for joining. Invite your followers, share this so that we can have more people come in here. So much for joining. Hey, ooh, all right. Somebody make sure that whatever you're using, if you're using another one to watch it, mute it. Otherwise, what just happened to me is about to happen to you.
It did just happen to me.
Right. Thank you, Krista, for joining. Please let's share more. Let's share more so that we can get this place. Let me see. I think there's another place I'm supposed to put this.
Princess Tesla has moved it around this morning
Oh no, I'm talking about the live feed right now.
for the live feed. Okay.
Yeah, this live feed. If you go under it, you'll see the share button. So that way, if you move the live feed, people can be wherever they are and still get to. Oh, Jennifer was supposed to be one of it.
Really?
I don't know if she, because she's reaching out now. If I can. Can somebody get to Jennifer for me? I can't. I have to be careful what I open here.
I will.
Okay, Jennifer Vigil. She's right there now, waiting for the link. Now I'm not able to do that with what I have here. It is well. It is well. It is well. It is well. All right. We are going to begin now. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, let's see now. Let me just introduce myself again quickly, just in case, because of the replay viewers. Okay. All right. Okay, so she wants, Ramona, can you give Tessa the link now, please? Give her the link now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I want us to be able to represent well when I send this to Mr. Mansfield. Yeah, I want us to be able to represent well. Ineka, you look very comfortable in Nigeria right there. Just don't look. This is what happens when people are too comfortable. You start, before you know it, you see how Florida is sitting up? Like, that's how not to sleep. If you want to take a nap, go ahead, do this, and before you know it, I can count you down. Oh, God. All right, let's see. Please send it to Jennifer Vigil too.
I did.
Okay. So I'll keep an eye on them here. Anyway, all right. We just, okay, somebody's here. Tessa. All right. Okay, Miss Tessa, look at her.
Yeah.
It is well, y'all.
I apologize, everyone.
It is well. Well, let me just say this. We're live right now. So,
Yes. Hi.
Okay. So we're going to just do it. We are live right now. We are live. We are live. So can we all mute so that I can begin? Ramona, please keep an eye for Jennifer in case she's not able to log in. I'm not sure if she can log in or not. She asked the question, but my mind is not there right now. So, hey, Mercedes, good morning. Good morning, Mercedes. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Andrea, good morning. Abby, good morning. Latoya, good morning. Yes, the interview was fire. That's right. Well, good morning to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. For those who do not know me, my name is Dr. Princess Fumi Nkok, and people know me as your life strategist and your vision midwife, because that's what I do. That's what God has called me to help people birth their vision and birth their legacies. And so yesterday, one of it was bringing to you all, I call him a life legend. I don't use those words lightly. I know that when I called him that blew him away, and you could see with the way he looked. But not everybody, ever so often we wait for people to die before we appreciate who they are in our lives. But the truth is they're long gone. So if they're long gone, it don't matter if you now spend $1 million to call them a legend, don't really matter. And so for me, I needed to call him that because he is, I won't say was, he is a dream maker in my life. And so what I try to do on this platform, on my platform, is always bring you people that I know that are my dream makers. And I'm also very, very careful not to overstep my bounds with them so that I don't overexpose them to what they're not prepared for. And so for me, I needed to take that time to really reach out to Mr. Mansfield to see what his thoughts are on that. Yesterday, Patty Pat. Yes, Lorena, welcome. Yesterday, we talked about how important for us to, number one, have humility with our lives in the things that we do. How, number two, our humility will actually open incredible doors for us. Particularly, our humility will attract our dream makers to us. Many of us right now, we don't have the demeanor to attract our dream makers to us. And so because of that, we are having, let's see now, okay, you guys are talking. Okay, and so because of that, yesterday was, it was just an incredible time. It was a time where I really believe history was made yesterday, not just on Facebook, but across social media. It showed a lot about World Changer Sister Tribe, what we are trying to accomplish as a tribe, as opposed to what other people may think we are if they don't take the time to even know who we are. And I think yesterday is the first of many that we will be hosting as a group, as a team, as a tribe. And I'm just excited. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to how God is going to flesh this out, how God is going to really blow this up. It said, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither of the heart of men considered what God has prepared for they that love him. They that love him and diligently serve him. And when you love God, then you got to be diligent. If you're not diligent with the way you do things, then you don't love God. It's as simple as that. Because you represent God. We represent God. He represented God in a mighty way yesterday. And that is what God has called us to do. It's not all about just getting in our bedroom and praying all night long and not opening our eyes and just praying and going to fasting and come back out of fasting and go back into praying, but using our lives as an example of what God looks like. And I really believe that all of us, our participation yesterday, we showed what God looks like by all showing up, right? By all of us showing up, Michelle, by all of us showing up and just being counted, getting engaged, asking questions. Oh, she said she's on Zoom. Okay, hold on a second. Jennifer is on Zoom. Okay. Hey, Jennifer. I think I have. Hey, my darling. You made it, huh? You made it. Awesome. Well, I can't hear you. So I'm not sure if you're muted. Oh, okay, you're muted. Okay, got it. All right. All right. So we have Jen here too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have each one of you introduce yourselves. Florida, your camera is flicking in and out. Oh, is the internet? Okay, all right. It is well. It is well. So I'm going to have each of you introduce yourself, what you do or what you're hoping to do. We're going to start with that. And then once we go through everybody, then we go back to the discussion. So I'm going to start with you, Cynthia. Can you introduce yourself to the people that are watching and what you do? Go ahead, just introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is feeling well. My name is Cynthia Burgess. I am in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am an organizer, and I'm also a member of the World Changer Sister Tribe under Princess Fuma Hancock, and I thank her for inviting me on this morning.
Awesome, awesome. Miss Florida, introduce yourself. Oh, your sound.
How about now? Is it okay now?
Yeah, increase it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get closer to the mic. Is that better?
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Good morning. First of all, thank you so much, Princess Fumi Hancock, for inviting me. I'm honored to be here with the World Sister Changers Sisterhood. With Florida Santana Janas. I'm a real estate investor and coach, being coined the real estate mogul maker. And I'm truly excited to be here, be part of this. And I was honored to just watch that phenomenal interview that occurred yesterday with Dr. Mansfield and yourself. So thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Ineka, I think she probably, okay, she froze. So she's from Nigeria. So Ramona, go ahead. Oh, Ramona P.
Yeah, we're waiting for you to say which one. Hi, I'm Ramona. I'm Ramona Phillips. I'm World Changer Sister Tribe leader and coordinator of event planning. I'm the one that's been helping to plan the event for the retreat that's coming up in Nashville, Tennessee. I teach, I speak, and I write within the group and outside the group. That's who I am.
Thank you, Ramona P. And now go to Ramona J.
Good morning, everybody. I am Ramona Jones of Ramona Speaks, and I write. Do I have an echo going?
You're fine. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay, I'm hearing an echo. I'm part of the World Changer Sister Tribe volunteer leadership team under programs and development. I help Tribe organization and with its policies, procedures, and helping to make the house a great place for the women to come and be part of the sisterhood. I'm also an author. I have 2 books already out so far, and one being birthed. And I'm so happy to be a part of World Changer Sister Tribe and to sit at the feet of Stephen Mansfield yesterday. And I can't wait to share in this discussion.
Thank you, Ramona. Yes, your sounded like it was going in and out. So okay, check that. Hey, Lady Niver, it's your turn.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Lady Nevaeh, an international speaker for women who need to be noticed and women who need to know that you care. I am also a skincare consultant with a new business of Nevaeh's lipsticks. I'm also a storyteller for children's books for children who are learning to speak English. I am a member of World Changers Sister Tribe, and I am very proud to have been chosen to be on this panel. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to say this before I go to the next person. Ramona, can you send the link to Tony? I just remembered that Tony said yes last night, and I completely forgot. So please send the link to her and ask her if she's ready to join in. And then we're going to go to Tessa.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? My name is Tessa Hall, and I'm your liaison for the World Changers Sister Tribe. I'm the person that if you have questions and you want to know how to get around in World Changers Sister Tribe or want to get a hold of the leaders, I'm the person that you get a hold of. If I have answers, I'll be able to help you efficiently as I can. And if I can't, I know how to direct you to the person who has questions. So thank you for being on the Zoom, and thank you, Your Majesty, for having me here. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Hey, Jen Jen. Okay, do your muting. Yeah, unmute yourself.
Hey, my name is Jennifer. I am an artist. I sculpt. I work with polymer clay, resin clay. As a lot of you probably don't know, I also have a degree in nursing. And so I'm very excited to be a part of this, and I can't wait until we get into this discussion about Stephen Mansfield.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so here are the things that we're going to do as we progress, because as you know, we are taping this. And so what else? I see Tony in yeah, please give her tell Tony, if you're listening to us right now, check your Facebook message for the link. Ramona, I don't know if you are able to get a hold of her, but have her check that and then she can join in. And so one of the things we're going to do is make sure we do two things. We make sure that as I call your name, you unmute yourself, you respond, and then you go back to mute. Because if you do not mute, then we're going to start hearing all the echoes, and it will get a little bit muddy. So let's see now. Okay. All right. So let's start with this. Let's really start with this. Oh my heavens. Oh my heavens. Yesterday, I have to tell you, I came up when I was at the interview, people asked me behind the scenes that, my God, how did you flow in and out of the questions? And the thing is, the better question is, how did the Holy Ghost flow in and out? Because I looked at all the questions that we had before the interview. I knew that I had 1.5 hours, and I read them and I said, God, you're going to have to work wonders with this, because I don't know, because the questions many of them were disjointed. They did not flow in the way that interviews should flow. And so it made me a little bit challenged, that because you were having speaking, writing, leader, I mean, it was all over the place, but the Holy Ghost knew what was in the hearts of people. And so the Holy Ghost was the steerer of it all yesterday. The Holy Ghost was it. I was happy because Mr. Mansfield made me comfortable with the interview, right? He made me comfortable. And so that was number one right there, because if you are interviewing people and they are not comfortable, then you're not comfortable. So it was interesting that we came in at a point where we both were comfortable with each other and were just able to ask. And the fact that it was able to really, really open up to us was just incredible. I'm having Tony Pache now. Tony is joining us from Australia. As we talk about this, let me say this. Cynthia is Atlanta, Georgia. Ramona is New Jersey. Well, Ramona P is New Jersey. I want you guys, as you come in again and answer some questions. Hey, Tony, we see you. As you answer some questions, let Mr. Mansfield know and everybody else know where you are located. And so let's start with this. I want to start with Cynthia. Cynthia, what was the event like for you? What was the event like for you? What was, okay, all right, let me back up. What you expected before the event? And what was that? What was your experience during the event? And how did it leave you at the end?
Princess, what I expected for the event was to take in a lot of nuggets from Mr. Mansfield, because I know that he's a humble man from God with much wisdom. So during the event yesterday morning, I really got a lot of information that I can take back and just use it on my daily life. When he talked about how he always honor God and helping others in different situations, no matter what level you are in, that you always seek God first. And I love that about him. I truly, it just inspired me to, pray and do what I have to do to know that, in your life that things do get better and that you can, whatever your goals are, you can achieve them. You just have to seek counseling. And the greatest thing was to get mentorship, a coach. You need people like that in your life. So I was greatly appreciated of him just sharing his life story. He didn't have to do it, but he did. So I was grateful that I was there, and I just appreciate his time that he took out for the World Changers Sister Tribe and for you. And I'm just overwhelmed, with all the good news and all the nuggets that he shared with us yesterday morning.
Awesome. Thank you for saying that. Let's see now, because I'm trying to look at the view right now. Let's go to Florida.
Initially, I did not know what to expect from the interview. I was just, I was excited about the interview because of his breadth of work that he has done, the depth of his work, and seeing you interact with him. But I was impressed with his humility and his willingness to open up and share some really key components in terms of the importance of mentorship, the importance of being humble, the importance of leadership and what that is, the importance of managing your time and knowing how to prioritize your life and your time and not to be driven by needs and opportunity, which is something that all of us as business people and trying to build and trying to serve, we kind of want to be able to help everybody that's in need. And he put that into perspective in a very humble way. Oftentimes, we look at these interviews of gurus and experts, and they're pitching you stuff, and they're not giving you anything of substance
That's right.
You can take and say, you know what, let me take a step back and look at this and say, I really need to look at, the mentors, those mothers and father figures in our lives. Look at how we're managing our time, being careful of, again, not being driven by the needs and opportunities out there and being in tune with what God wants us to do. And that was my biggest takeaway, aside from the fact that he is so humble and so giving and sowing into our lives, dedicating an hour and a half of his time to give some serious things that are life-changing, because we get burnt out at times, we get drained. So that was like my biggest takeaway. And I appreciated him so much going into our lives through you. And I thank you for making that opportunity available. So that's what I got from it.
I tell you what though, what when he said something about don't be driven by opportunity, and I mean that just hit me like a ton of brick.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was like a ton of brick. Of course, there were so many crack the code moments. At some point, I quit saying crack the code because it was like every minute he was cracking a code. And in my own head, I've been in this business for years. And yesterday, I learned so much. He even blew me up. And I said, behind the scenes, I said, well, I guess I'm not leaving you anytime soon as a mentee now, you know. And but it's so amazing because everything that he was saying was just incredible. There was one situation that he really impacted my life, which I think I did mention during the interview, and which was when I had a partner. We both of us, we were in partnership, and we started off going everywhere, doing everything. And then there was a year, it just looked like, okay, we had received this prophetic impartation. And with the prophetic impartation, that same year, it said her number one was teaching. Her number two was speaking. Her number three, I can't even remember what the number three was. And then with mine, my number one became make movies. My number two became writing. And number three was speaking. And what brought us together was speaking. So I remember us sitting down in my living room, and I said, hey, you take your paper, let me take my paper. And we did like a little table, and we put it together, and it was like her number one became my number three. And we looked at each other like, okay, now how are we gonna figure this thing out? Because your number one is my number three, and I know that I'm not in the season to bump up because we're partners. So how are we going to do this? And so we reached out to him. We reached out to him, and good for us, he was in Nashville then. So he just said, hey, do you all realize I'm in Nashville? We said, oh, you're in Nashville? Okay. We coming up. We coming. And so I remember the three of us sitting down, and he sat there with his elegant self. Hey, Nick, I see you. And he kept quiet. And he listened to what I had to say, listened to what he had to say. But get what? He did his own work. He went on our page before the meeting, before even trying to even know what we were going to talk about. He did not even have a clue about what we were going to talk about. He just thought it was just going to be a howdy, we haven't seen you in a long time, hug, hug, kiss, kiss, and go. He didn't know exactly what it was, but he went on our website. And so when we were done, he looked at the two of us and he said, our website look kind of schizophrenic right now. And the two of us look at each other like, well, okay, what does that mean? Not that we don't have an idea, but we needed somebody outside of the two of us to tell us the truth. And he said, look, it's obvious that God, your season is beginning to part. That doesn't mean that down the road you don't get to come back again. But for right now, your season, he says, so you are doing movies, you're throwing your movie in the thing there. She's doing teaching, she's throwing it in there. You're just throwing all kind of stuff on that web page, and it's not gelling. And I'm telling you, that saved us a lot of grief. It saved us a lot that that would have been 1 or 2 years wasted in both of our lives trying to find the middle of where we meet. In fact, with me trying to find the middle, I started putting her in my movies just to find the middle, even though she was not support, that was not her season, but then she wanted to be in the movie, so I'll just put her in all of my movies, I'll just throw her in there. But it ended up not working. And in fact, we ended up hurting each other more than really do good where each other is concerned. And so for that, I was really, really appreciative of the role that he took in our lives with that. Why am I sharing this? Some of you might be in partnership right now and you don't know, and you're saying to yourself, perhaps the season of the partnership is over, or perhaps it's just taking a different perspective. And so rather than for you to waste your time trying to make each other feel good, you need to get to a come to Jesus moment where you really sit down and say, you know what? Take your piece of paper, I take mine, let's map this thing out and let's see where we meet. And if we do not meet, I'll see you in the next season. I'm sorry, but I'll see you in the next season. If God says so, I'll see you in the next season. And that's what we did to each other. See you in the next season. and that's it. So I was appreciative of that. Very, very appreciative of that. Ramona Philip, tell us what how the impact it had for you. What was your expectation? You know, just talk to us.
Yes, good morning. I'm Ramona Phillips, of course. I didn't know what to expect either. I knew we were you were interviewing a author, a very famous man. And but his wisdom, I really admired his spirit and his wisdom and his selflessness. Like he knew, he knew who he was, and he knew what his gifts were. And you can tell that he just wanted to serve God's kingdom. He wanted to serve God's kingdom. He gave so many nuggets. We call them nuggets, but they're big nuggets. Nuggets that we can incorporate in our lives, like the reader says, that substance. He gave us more substance and some confirmation about some things that we had already heard. But he talked about, I like when he talked about taming your time and your schedule. How important it is to tame your time and your schedule. Writing for your platform. I love the fact that he said, don't worry about becoming a New York Times bestseller. Focus on writing for your platform. Now, what else I got out of it that he did not say was, I think when we focus more on our destinies, all of a sudden things come up. And for example, you might get a phone call, and find out that you're a New York Times bestseller. But all the time you weren't even focused on becoming a New York Times bestseller. And I think that's something that I still felt that coming from his spirit, although he didn't say that. I like the fact that I really love the fact that, when God shifted him, he's now able to still doing ministry, but God has actually shifted him in places where I think is needed, and that's in the area of leadership. I mean, to hear that he was actually helping, some famous people, different famous people and rock stars and things like that. But he's also helping politicians and CEOs, people that really can impact other people's lives. So that's really, I think that's a big deal, because leaders have the influence to impact thousands, millions of people's lives. So having that, having that wisdom and being so humble and just being confident but not arrogant.
That's right.
I mean, you could just tell it flows very nicely. And I know that he showed us how, like I said, how important it is. Let me share a few other little of his nuggets that I actually circled, because I had to go back and listen again and take some more notes. I like the fact that he said, you have a destiny. Your destiny is fulfilled by investing in others. Well, I know a lot of people did not agree with that. I believe a lot of people did not agree with that, because a lot of us are selfish or we're more into our success. It's about us. It's about our success, our success. We say we helping others, but it's about our success, you know, but it's not about our success. It really is about feeding it to others. It really is about helping others to grow. And if everybody connect together and do that, we see a lot more people fulfilling their destinies, fulfilling their purpose, becoming more humble, becoming more people of integrity. That's another thing. He's definitely a man of integrity. You can tell he cares about his family. Now we all know his wife's name is Beverly and not Karen.
All right, but that was one of the things I told you all before the interview, that you're going to hear Beverly. You're going to hear that name at some point. So I was so glad that he just played into what I said before. And before I knew it was like Beverly. I'm like, okay, get it.
That's right. That's right. That's what we do. We just keep it moving. That's right. That's right, Princess. We just keep it moving. So I like the fact that he says that we must have the right people in our lives. For so many years, I was a loner, or I felt like a loner, although I was a people person and I get along well with people, but I still didn't have like that group, that group of people. But God has been, for the past few years, especially the past year or two, God has been, shifting me into where he wanted me to be. Even when I joined up with World Changer Sister Tribe, I didn't realize that God was telling me, no, I want you to like be with them. I want you to go with them, And at first I was like, okay, this group just keep coming up. So I joined this group, but this group just keep coming up. And then, at some point I could hear the Holy Spirit telling me, no, I know you think you got all these things to do, but you can't do it by yourself anyway. So I want you to really be with this group, I want to mold you with them. I want you to know what it feels like to have a sisterhood. So I can hear the Holy Spirit telling me that. I'm like, oh, okay. So God was like, be there, be committed, be dedicated with the group. So that's what I started doing. When I shifted, I can hear God shifting me again. And that's what I decided to do, shift. Like Stephen Mansfield knew God was shifting him. And I know that a lot of people did not agree with the fact that God was shifting him actually from the church, from being inside of the church to sending him out in other areas and other avenues. So I thought that was awesome that he actually had the courage. That takes courage and that takes faith to do that, because sometimes we get so caught up in what other people are thinking that especially when you're a leader and you have other people in your ear, that's a little scary. It's a little scary. But he knew God was speaking to him, and I'm sure that God confirmed with him through some people that were on board with him anyway. But yes, this is God. This is God, and God is so good. He always gives us confirmation. So I mean, he's just awesome. I mean, I like the fact. Oh yeah, I like the fact that.
Oh no, not yet, not yet. We're moving on to somebody else so that you can come back with yours. Don't give us the whole thing yet. We're coming back to you, my sister. Go ahead.
I know I can go, Princess. But you know what, I'm not even going to share this because technically I already shared it. I was just going to put it in another way. So thank you for letting me share.
All right. Okay, so here's the thing. Yesterday, so Ramon, you mentioned something about moving the hats when he knew that it was time to pastor a different set of sheep. And here's the thing, a lot of times we say God has called us globally. But when you really understand the meaning of global, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are the only one that gets to go global or gets to take a trip or gets to take a plane. It simply means that in the tribe that God births through you, some of them will be in Kuwait, some of them will be because they birthed through you. Some of them might decide to be in London. That is still you. That is still you impacting. I know it's a different way of thinking, but if you are called to impact globally, then you have to think in that kind of way that it's not all about you flying all over the place, although you get to do that, because here's the thing, those that you birth, when they are settled where they are, if they are grateful people, and if there are people that really understand alignment, they will be the one flying you in. And but when they fly you in, you're going there to sit back to see the work of your hands, and not necessarily working a whole lot, but just looking at what God is birthing. And so we need to start looking at that kind of frame of mind that, yes, you're a global influencer, but your global influences also start with the people that you influence, where you are. Who are the people you are influencing? Who are the people that God has called you to? And so many of us right now, I tell you, me for one, I said it before, I can stay in this house for a whole year and not even see the outside of my street. And I'm telling you right now, I'll be fine with it. You hear me? Go from kitchen to this and go back eat. I'm fine. I don't have a problem with that. But the thing is, I every day have to be intentional about connecting with people. It's an intentional thing. Being in Watching Your Sister Tribe is intentional for me. I could easily just walk away and not return. I just keep going, you know. But it is intentional for me, and particularly in the season that I'm in right now, majority of the people that I brought up to a level have all fallen off. I mean, literally fallen off, falling out, falling in, falling something. They've just vanished, right? And so for a while, I said, what's going on with that? But the truth is, just like Mr. Mansfield talked about it yesterday. I see you, Linda. Every level, let's just use level right here. Every level requires a structure. Ooh, let me say that again. Every level requires a structure. The structure that you need in level A, for you to go to level B, you can take that structure with you. Now you can build on it, but it's not going to sustain you in level B. So which means you need another structure. Now you can incorporate the old structure into it, which will help you to emphasize more on the next structure. And every level that you want to go is going to require that revised or new structure to bump you to the next level. And so yesterday, hearing that just clarified more for me that, oh, okay, so I could not go into the next with the structure. That structure was done with, and I needed to let it go. It was done with, and I needed to let it go. So wherever we are, you know, it's just like what I did 3 days ago with the pen and the hole and the key and all that. If you didn't watch that, go back and watch it on my timeline. Everyone is different. Where you are is different. It's identifying where you are in the throes of things and be very candid with yourself. Don't try to be delusional about what you say you are. You know you're not, you know. Don't try to be delusional. Just know where you are and then walk your way into where God has called you to. So that was a blessing. That was a true blessing for me. So Ramona J, your turn.
Hi, I'm Ramona Jones of Speaks from St. Louis, Missouri. And what I expected is that when I was scoping before coming on, just kind of spreading this message around, what came to me, when you sit at the feet of the great, you are going to get a download. Something is going to be birthed in you that was there, or something is going to be awakened in you when you come into the presence of the great, when you come into the presence of someone who has done what you are wanting to do. Mm-hmm. And Princess, you talked about your dream makers and how they will find you, or how you will find your dream makers. So sometimes we have to put ourselves in the way.
That's right.
process. We have to position ourselves between where we are and where we're going. And if we don't know where we're going, but someone has already been there, sometimes it just needs to be someone in that position who can pull you up to your level, to your dimension of where you are, because your thinking is not there. You're on your journey, you're trying to find your way, but you haven't quite gotten there. So it takes someone else to pull you up into that new dimension. And so my expectation was, I knew he was the New York Times bestselling author. I knew he had been in ministry and transitioned to being in the marketplace. All of the things that I struggle with, well, is this ministry or is this work? And do I charge for what I do? So all of that was like, okay, here's someone who has been there. So let me get myself in the way of and be ran over if necessary by this greatness, so I can be pulled up and elevated into the place, into the thinking that I need to be. So that's what I came in with, my pen and paper ready to just eat and glean and pick out those nuggets. And there was so many nuggets, so many nuggets. But what really helped me was, because for instance, you know, when you tell me all the time, Ramona, stop adding stuff, stop calling yourself more things, you're gonna confuse yourself. But you know, it's kind of like a gift and a curse when you have so many skills, so many talents, when you
That's right.
things. You know, coming up in the storefront churches that I came up in, my old pastor used to say, you're just like a 2x4. You can stand anywhere. You know, so I was the secretary, I was in the choir, I did school, I taught Bible class, you know, so because it wasn't a whole lot of people, so you had to play a whole lot of roles, wear a lot of hats. And so then in a family, you know, in a big family, everybody chip in, everybody's doing everything. So, and then you just go into the world and you learn, and then you drift and you start out one way and you end up into a whole nother career path that you didn't see. And so I was in that place where, well, who am I? And what am I supposed to be doing? Because I can do a whole lot of things, but trying to get down to that, what that passion is, was very hard for me. When he talked about that you can have all these gifts, but there's just seasons for them.
That's right.
Immediately, I got a metaphor of that tree. And it says, because your seasons may shift, and one thing is going to be more prominent.
That's right.
Than the next. So I got that metaphor when he was talking. My brain was just firing off. And I saw the tree and I said, oh, so it's like a tree. A tree is a tree. A tree has all of its parts, all of its elements, everything that it's supposed to produce. That tree is already there. And so in the winter, what's prominent is the branches. In the spring, what's prominent is the bud and the bloom. In the summer, what's prominent is the leaves. And then in the fall, what's prominent is the fruit. Mm-hmm. It can be all these things, but I just have to know what season I'm in.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And that was my question. Okay, Lord, now what season am I in? What should I be focusing on now? What should I be portraying to the world? What can the world come to me for right now in this season? And then one of my other mentors, a business plan mentor, called me because I was just going down a path, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just trying to do some stuff. So I just kind of let that drop, and I've just been in this place of, Lord, you know, just show me who I am and what I'm supposed to do. And so she came and added to that, because I shared that with her. She said, well, Ramona, I think your question is, Lord, what tree am I? So now I'm going back to, okay, Lord, so what tree am I? Because she said, if you know your tree, everything else is just going to come out of that. So I'm just blessed to have sat at Dr. Mansfield's feet to get that nugget and to glean that and to pull it in, to help center me, to help me really start honing in on what God has for me. And then one other thing that stood out to me when he was talking about leadership, and I've always been one person who had to know it all, have done it all before I can say, yeah, I can do it. So a lot of people go and say, yeah, I know how to do that. And then, but they may have 10% and then they just play like they can do it all and they go do it. But I'll be like, well, but what he said was, there's no school, no degree.
That's right.
That can position you for leadership. It's going out there and doing it.
That's right.
That experience, I'm like, that just set me free.
Yeah, let me interject in that one, because when few days ago, no, actually 2 weeks ago, somebody reached out to me and said, "Oh, do you have a certification in life coaching?" He says, "Well, can you certify me in life coaching?" I said, "All right." Whoever referred you, did they tell you a bit about me? Because I'm about to right in the middle of both eyes right now. I said, number one, only God can certify you. Now, it's good to have all them certifications, but I've also known a lot of people that have that certified thing behind their name and they're not doing nothing with it.
Mm-hmm.
As you could tell with him, what he did was knowledge. He gleaned, he had mentorship, he had coaching, he had that. That is more significant than having that little CPE or whatever I don't even know what they call it anymore, having all those things behind your name.
Mm-hmm.
Important for you that as you go, once you develop and know what your season is, good morning, Debbie, instead of trying to figure out, like he said, he's a man that's learning too. He has degrees, don't get us wrong. But let's not get fixated on getting certified, but be more fixated in planting yourself and knowing, having knowledge to back up the season that you're in. I think the knowledge is more important than those certificates that everybody is carrying around, because you have thousands of people, right, that are just carrying around certified this, certified that, certified this, certified this, certified this, and what you really need is the knowledge. You attend the e-learning, you get the knowledge. Goal setting, get the knowledge, not the certificate, but get the knowledge.
Right. And with that, I have a Master of Arts degree in leadership and organizational development, and trying to, find an opportunity to get out into the field of work has been very hard. But it's like, okay, well, I can just go and make this thing happen. I don't have to go to another company or another organization. It's just going out there and just doing it and building my knowledge in there and my experience. I loved how he said, and what really hit me and jumped in my spirit is when he was talking about, the bitterness in people that will derail them, and how he was able to come in and talk to these organizations and heal them. I was like, well, along the lines with what I do, I help minister to people and help them to get over the wounds and the hurts and rejection so that they can be a better person. So that was a connection right there. So, and then tying that into leadership to help you to be a better leader, helping you deal with those issues, those undercurrent issues. So it's just so rich, and I got so much out of it. And so I just thank God for the opportunity of allowing you to be the catalyst that brought us into this new dimension, elevate our thinking, our minds, our spirits, to shift us into place. So I look forward to what's to come.
Amen. And here's the thing: once you find knowledge in people like that, you want to stay in their presence. Let me say that again. Once you find knowledge and education in people, in the presence of people like that, you want to stay in that presence. By not diluting it, by not losing focus, you stay in that. Because the more you stay in that presence, the more you glean. Because we look at yesterday, the interview itself, that is $1 billion right there. If I were to package that thing, woo, that is $1 billion right there, because every second was just nuggets. Mm-hmm. Look at some people who did not even take the time to come yesterday, right? Yesterday, the interview here, it reached over almost 15,000 people within boosted. It was organic. That was organic. So 1.5 hours and it reached almost 15,000 organically.
Wow.
Tells you when you are in your season. That is a perfect example that when you are in your season, all this running around that we're doing running around, y'all.
Yes.
I'm telling you right now. And when you're in your season, God will connect you to some people that even, right, you might not have the numbers, but God will sandwich you right in between them. He will fix it. Right. But if you are so divided, you will not even hear it. You wouldn't even see it when God is connecting you. You wouldn't see it because your attention is so divided in all of the places that you not even see that, oh my God, this is what God is doing. I really believe that the masterclass that's going to come out of this is going to keep him in our presence. Look, this is part of where you sit there and say, okay, remember what I told you about my mentor back here? I came back and sat myself down and I said, okay, I gotta keep myself in the presence of this so that I can have my spiel down. Somehow I have to connect. And I feel like the masterclass, because he didn't come for masterclass, and you could tell yesterday that was the last thing. He just wanted to do an interview and just be gone and be done with it. He didn't think about masterclass. We never discussed masterclass. He actually came right on spot when I kept seeing questions keep coming. I'm like, ooh. And then my brain started working. Okay, princess, walk it, make this work. Walk it now, walk it in, because this is the chance you got. What And when I heard the Holy Spirit say, now do it, I just opened my mouth and said, well, we're gonna do some masterclass. You could see the face like, Master, what? You could see his face. And then I repeated it again, and then he's looking. At the end of it, the poor Mr. Mansfield, God bless his heart, just said, yes. I'm like, yes, he said yes. And behind the scenes, we met again. I'm like, okay, you're saying yes now. So glory to God. How do we keep this ship going?
But Francis, when I went to his website and I saw that he has a global leadership fund or foundation that he's trying to take leadership around the world.
That's right.
Change his sister tribe. And he's mostly trying to reach men. So even with the brother tribe. But I'm thinking that there may be more of a deeper divine connection here with taking leaders and raising up leaders. If we're world changers, sister tribe and brother tribe, trying to change the world one person at a time, one story at a time, I see a divine connection in that, in speaking to the leaders and people.
And here's the thing, like what I said before, that there are times God will allow you to meet somebody now, and you try to do something and it will not click, or you do something, it's not the season. But if you maintain and not lose your mind and say, oh, I've arrived now and bye-bye to you, and you maintain that, it could be 10 years down the road, then things will start happening. I know with him, I have a very good, healthy relationship with him, that I feel free to be able to say anything that I can say to him, and without judgment. I know with him it's without judgment. He'll just be quiet, listen, and then say, okay, this is what I think. And so I don't know what God has in store, but I know that he's somebody that's where our relationship is concerned, it's open. Because I know that even after the meeting yesterday, and I went back and I said, hey, this is this, and I got Karen involved in it. And he said, I'm open. How do you want this masterclass to look like? I'm open. And that is huge for somebody to say, how do you want it to look like? What is the major question that they want? I'm open. That is huge. And that is an example of how we need to be. Mm-hmm. That is an example of how every leader needs to be. Every leader. That's an example. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that he lets his business suffer because you heard him yesterday. Because if you're not careful, if you don't keep a healthy balance, there will be people that will come and take advantage too, and then waste your time, waste your energy, waste your money, waste everything around you, all your resources. They can waste all your resources if you let them do.
Right.
So I think the key is actually being able to balance out. With the leadership, probably the leadership that I said, it's kind of funny because when the king came, he was actually knighted. I never got to talk about that yesterday, but the king actually gave him a chieftaincy. Yes, and then, I mean, he had pictures of it. The king put the African beads on him, the cap on him. I forgot the name of his title. I have to go ask the king. But it had to do with the heart. His title had to do with humility and heart. And he's the very first person to get that in the whole area of Nigeria. He got it here. But there, he got it here. See, when God positions you and you align yourself, and because what he did then was he was reached out to host this event. He did not even blink with all the drama that was going on about surrounding the king coming. He did not even blink. He did not even hesitate. He didn't take a dime for it. He just said, yeah. So what he did was he positioned himself in the presence of the king. He aligned himself without even saying, oh, this is who I am, whatever. He did that. And because of that, so we have to alignment, positioning, covenant, because what he did by hosting was a covenant. By taking that gala and making it a success, that was covenant right there. So we have three things that you handle, and some of us, we drop the ball on one or two of it, and one we pretend like it doesn't exist, particularly the covenant one. We always just want to pretend that does not, that doesn't matter. We want to talk more about position. We want to talk more about alignment. But the thing is, these three ingredients, you can't drop one for the other. You can't. So if you're ready to really, and in fact, your covenants open doors for you that you are now able to see where you're supposed to position yourself. And if you love yourself enough, because the minute you find it, right, and you say, hey, I found it, like Ramona Jones yesterday, hey, I got it. Then in another 3, 4, 5 days, here come them voices now. All the old ancient voices that we're used to, we start crippling in. And before you know it, if you're not careful, then you start veering off again, and then you're back to, oh, what am I supposed to be doing? So that is why it's important that when God positions us, right, he helps us by bumping us and positioning us. You guys took the action by saying, I'm going to take the time out yesterday. I'm going to sit under the feet of a master, and I'm going to sit down and listen. You did that. And so now, you now have to take your faith and move on to the third one, which is the covenant. You align, you position. It is so critical that the people that we align ourselves with, I'm telling you, even all the way to our Facebook, there might new things that we think is not important. It is so critical. Critical. Because get what? If God is doing something in your life today, and that thing is supposed to be under covering, get this, and that thing is supposed to be hidden from the eyes of those who won't serve you, right? Never mind, they might be in church, but that don't mean they'll serve you good, right? We know the truth now. Let's tell the truth. And if they're not meant to see it yet, why is still percolating? All right. So I know you, Ramona, and I say to you, Ramona, I know you're not supposed to see me, so I'm just going to pluck you off of my Facebook. But guess what? I pluck Ramona off of the Facebook, but Lady Nivea, Tessa, all them people are still on Ramona's Facebook. Watch this now, right? Ramona is on all of their Facebook. I have plucked Ramona out, but guess what? Because they're connected, all the things that God is percolating about me, guess what? They don't even have to come to your Facebook. All you have to do is sit back and let the airwave bring it to them. Everybody else. And that was something, a realization for me this week. It was just like, oh my God, okay, God, I'm done. I'm so done. So it's very important that as you want to go to the next phase, as you identify what your next phase is, right? Some of us were emerging, right? Some of us were there, right? We're just sustaining right now. Others, we're getting ready to move into the next one, right? Wherever you are, once you identify that, then you need to look at everyone that surrounds you. I mean, everyone that surrounds you. And you ask yourself that question, on me, but are they serving or will they serve this phase that I'm getting ready to transition into? If they, I don't care if you have to delete 10,000 people and all you got left is 10. But that 10 powerhouse. But if you leave the 10,000, you just drown the 10 out of the 10,000, and now you choke your 10 out of your life. Because now they're looking and they're getting distracted by the remaining 9,999, because every time those things come in, they're distracted. So now they can't even focus on what God has called them to do in your, ooh, I just spoke on myself right there, crack the code. Here I go again this morning, crack the code. I just spoke on myself, Holy Ghost help me. Right? So we want those who God has aligned us to this season. We don't need, for you to be a multimillionaire, let me tell you right now, you don't need 100,000 people to be following you. Do you believe that? You do not need 100,000 people, 1,000,000 people, whatever thousand people. You don't. You just need your dream makers. You need your dream makers and their cohorts. You hear me? You need your dream maker and their cohorts. That's all you need. And when you find your dream makers and your cohorts, and that's why there are times you look at people with thousands. There's nothing wrong with having thousands and millions, but you have to get to a point where you have to be tired of just, logging numbers. I don't know about you, but I'm way over. I've shifted my own little thing. I'm way over logging numbers. I don't need I'm way over logging numbers. It's important for me that I'm able to touch lives, and there are people that also identify, also appreciate what I do, and understand that I also run a business without me having to, slap it on. All right. So that's where we are. Lady Neve, please talk to us. Unmute yourself.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lady Neve. I'm from Northern California. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What really got me, I came in late on the interview, but I was able to pick up quite a few nuggets. And Mr. Mansfield was just, he was such a blessing. And what really rayed in my mind was when he was talking about, do you have the right title for your book? Do you have the right title for your topic? And then he went on to say what interests you, and how you package it, and is it a popular type topic? And he was going on talking about accountability and groups, and that's where World Changers Sister Tribe came in. I had joined a group before knowing about World Sister Tribe, World Changers Sister Tribe. And I invested a lot of money in the group, and it was worth it. And I have accountability people, and there is a tribe with that group. But you have to invest in yourself. And you have to also, you need, he brought that up, and you also need to believe in your leaders and to know that your leader is someone you can trust. And especially, speaking of you, Princess, if you are a coach, you're a mentor, you're a leader, and most of all, you're a prophetess. My God, how can you have all that in one package and not support that person? And this is what he brought up. He brought up the fact of how important it is to believe, support, and to just be there and respect that person who you have already noticed and you have seen in your life change because of that person. And he just basically brought to home the fact of the importance of that person, and to just not take it like willy-willy and, oh, well, but when she speaks about certain things, she's telling you things that are not from her mouth. And she often mentions that, that this is not just from me, this is from God. And we should not question that. I mean, she has, a lot of her prophecies have proven themselves. So, what more proof do you need? And you have a great, we have a great group of women here with the World Changer Sister Tribe. And Mr. Mansfield was so gracious to share with us all of the tidbits and the nuggets. I mean, I'm telling you, the money I invested in myself with the other group, I did not get this. I did not get this. I
can't do that.
I mean, I'm talking about thousands. I'm not talking about hundreds. I'm talking.
I know, Lady Livet. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I'm not bragging on myself.
That's right.
I'm just telling you the truth. So for you to be able to come and be part of the World Changer Sister Tribes, ladies and brothers tribe, I can't speak on that because I'm not part of that. But, this is a wealth. This is a wealth of knowledge, of wisdom, of training. I mean, it goes on. And he talked about the different levels that we need to be on. And I look at levels as stair steps. A lot of you don't know, but I used to have a nonprofit, which I, what is the word? It's no longer a nonprofit, but anyway, it was called Women's Veterans Thrift Boutique. And what I would do is go in my neighborhood, and what I would do is also advertise on Facebook. And I would get clothing for women veterans who have come back home, and either they had PSTD or they just didn't have a job and they needed clothing, something as simple as clothing. And so that they could get themselves dressed so that they can go for job interviews and get themselves back together. Because when our veterans come home, it's so sad that our country doesn't support them the way that they should. But that's another subject. But I'm saying that's a point where the Lord has shown me, I need you to step on another step. This is not a step that I want you to stay on. I was in that for 5 years. And I didn't have any training on nonprofit. I went and researched, and I hired a lawyer, and I was able to get, it was just one blessing after another. I was able to get my 501c3. I was able to get all the things that you need by just being diligent and praying and letting the Lord open those doors. But Dr. Princess Fumi Hancock, I can't thank you enough, because we would not even have, I don't know who else is here that would have known about this man, but to be able to be part of that interview was just a blessing.
I tell you what, we encouraged him. Thank you so much, Lady Olivier. We really encouraged him yesterday. And I have to say thank you to all of you, because that was what I wanted him to go away, live away with. That there was a tribe that really appreciated people like that when they come out of their circle, because that's it. He came out of the circle, and prior to him coming, I did tell you all that that circle is a little bit, I mean, let's just tear the veil. We have to know where we are so we know where we're going, right? Retreat to advance. This is not where we tell lies about each other and try to save face, but you got to know where you are, so that you can advance, so that you can shoot forward. And so for me, I knew that this was not the circuit at all. I knew that this was not it, but I also knew that God has given us favor. And so, and as God gives me favor, God gives you a favor. That is as simple as that. Because as God gives me favor, it's you all that have favor too. And wherever I go, I carry you guys along with me. I don't try to say, okay, you know, let me just do this by myself. No, I carry you guys along, because when I reached out to him, I said, well, I got this group of, you know, I got this group of babies that I got to birth them. Please help me birth them. Can you help me birth them? You know, and so, and things like this get to a point. Oh, I'm about to prophesy right now. We're going to get to a point where people, the same people are running around talking evil about World Changers Sister Tribe. You see how we all focused on what we needed to do? The focus brought this man into our presence. The focus and not just getting caught up in all the rubbish. It brought this man, and watch out. There's a whole lot more that is coming. I don't know who they are yet, but I sense it in my spirit. It's going to be back to back to back. And for the first time in our lives, if we do masterclass, women masterclass, now paying a lot of money and then coming home saying, still look in the mirror, trying to figure out, you know, am I still in the train or am I on the bus? Am I on the bus or is this the plane? Oh, that's right. It's a seat, but where is the seat? No, right? You know what I'm talking about. I am part of it too. If I calculate the amount of money that I have spent on courses, on classes, on all this kind of, Lord have mercy. I don't even want to go there, because it is a place that if I go, it's tough for me to come out of it. I don't know about you all, but I was actually still sharing that. I was sharing that with my husband this morning about the money that I've spent and wasted. If I went in there, all of you would be able to pull me out, because I would be gone completely. I would lose it. And I'm not being physical. I'm the truth right now. If I allow myself to go in there, I don't know what would pull me out, because of that, I try not. Okay, you know what? I've spent money prior to this, like Lady Nivea. I use that to encourage you that yes, you might have spent money, but just like Malik Yoba told me, welcome to Emure Kingdom. You just got, Malik Yoba said to me, you just graduated. When I first blew my first 6 figures, high, and nothing came out of it. I'm talking about high 6 figures, 6 figures on one of the movies that nothing came out of it. I called Malik Yoba. He listened and he said, "Hey, Princess, you just got educated. Congratulations, you just graduated. So now can we move along and let's make the best movie now?" I looked at him like, don't you? 6 figures, and you're telling me to move along. You say, "Well, Princess, I'm just letting you know right now that you just graduated. So chalk that up to your certificates and your diploma, your education in filmmaking. So now you can move on to other projects that will make you money." And it was rough. And so I say that to you, Lady Nivea, chalk that up, educated. Graduated. Learn a thing or two, and now I'm moving on to make more money. That's all that's the way I can see it. And so when you look at everything that way, and a lot of times I tell people that because I spent money on courses, right? That doesn't make the courses bad, but it might just be that you skipped a beat. It might just be there's some foundational thing that you skip. So don't make yourself feel like, okay, now I really have to sit down and really study this course because I paid for it. No, you're wasting your energy in the wrong direction, in the right direction. No, turn to the right direction and go back to the basics. And the basics is what we specialize here in Sister Tribe and Brother Tribe. This is who God has called me. That's why I'm a vision midwife. A vision midwife do not begin when the baby is grown, right? A midwife Don't begin when the baby is like 16-year-old. But many of you are, you're beginning, you're buying them courses, right? 16-year-old. And you forget that you're still in the womb, percolated. Right? And so for that, you just have to, don't waste your time, don't waste your energy, just retrieve and do it the right way. And at some point, whatever it is that you bought will catch up. And all of a sudden, you'll be able to use it at some point. And the ones you can use, just chalk it up to educated, graduated. Now let's make some money. That's what you chalk it up to. So thank you, Lady Nivea, for saying that. Tessa, it's your turn.
Good morning, everybody. Your Majesty, you always have me laughing.
He's going to have a blast with this because I intend to send this to him. I have a field day just watching this.
This is so funny. Thank you. You gave me a good laugh, but you're always truthful. I want to thank you, first of all, because I had no clue who this man was, only but what you shared about him. Mm-hmm. And you posted a video on the site, a small interview with him talking about Berlin. I want to check that out, and I was so captivated by what he was talking. It's like I wanted to interview him personally myself, because usually I kind of do that with people. I like to know about their lives. I interview them, ask them questions, and he was just so interesting in that. And I just wanted to keep going on and going on, but of course the video was short. But I was like, oh, I can't wait to hear what this man has to say. I don't know what he's going to say, but it's going to be something we're going to get out of it. So when he came on, I was really impressed and really taken by how relaxed he was with himself, relaxed with you. And I really love the interaction between you two. It's like you said, you've only talked to him 3 times, I guess, out of 10 years, but it seemed like you've been talking every day. Like that relationship is there. You can see it. It's natural, right? It's like this. It was nothing, no pretense, nothing fake. It was like you guys always talk every week or catch up or have coffee or something. And I really enjoyed that. I felt really relaxed in that. And I could tell he's really settled in himself as a person.
That's right.
Man, he's real confident. He has humility. And the scripture that came up to me about him, he is like a walking scripture of Proverbs 11:2. It talks about pride brings disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. And he is an embodiment of that, of wisdom. And that wisdom's there because he has a real humility. Also, too, I want to say something. You said something about, I think, Kabese, when he was here, he gave him that award that no one ever had. Was it Stephen Mansfield?
Yes.
You said something. I had a key moment about alignment and positioning, which will cause people to go to covenant. When you said that about alignment, humility is what will allow us to go into alignment. Humility will also be the position. And when you're humble in alignment and position, that's why you can do covenant. And it was like a bing. I said, oh, this man is true humility. That's why he's great. This man is great. He wrote for presidents and everything. But when Kabese, your uncle, the king, a real king, came in, he didn't try to puff himself up and say, I'm this and that. He recognized his position. This is a king. He's great. This is who I am. I'm not a king. We're not equals. So he humbled himself. That was alignment. First, he was aligned with you, a real princess, somebody authority. He recognized that, and a friend, and your humility. He aligned with that, to align with the king, and that position of alignment allowed him to be humble, a position of humility, and then he covenanted by doing that host. Because of that humility, that lineup allowed him to understand, and that's why he did that covenant, all because of humility. Humility is like that foundation for alignment, positioning, and covenant. I didn't mean to go off on that, but that was my when you shared about him, that started clicking to me. I was like, oh, I said, humility is like the foundation for you to be able to align, position, because humility is a position itself. And then when you have humility, the wisdom comes, the locking comes in. Oh, I need to covenant with this person, whether by money or doing this or serving or encouraging or praying for them, whatever, that'll make the covenant. Only if you're in humility, and humility is that position. So back to the interview. Sorry, everybody. But that was really good. And what a lot of things talk about taming your time. But one of the things that was coming out as we're all talking is about, he talked about percentages. He talked about, you have all these talents, you can have all these talents, but you can't be 100% in all of them all at one time, or you're burnt out. I was like, wow. And he said, you could go in percentages. Sometimes in this gifting, you might be 30% here, or you might be 15% here and 90% of the time in that season. But in the next season, whatever you was at 30% of the time, you might come up to 50. Or this gift, you might come up at 25. He said, but everything's in percentages. And when he said that, it clicked it to me. I was like, yeah, you're right. I said, it's like growth. It's like progress. It's like a progression. It's like you don't have to rush at everything and try to be 100% here, 100% here, because you can't. Everything's a growth. Everything is like a growth. And again, that goes back to, you have to humble yourself. Like you said, you can't be 16-year-old here and you're still like in embryo stage. Everything is at a growth. So there's a lot he said. There's a lot. So I'm really glad you put the video there, because I do want to continue to go back over that again. This man said nuggets. I mean, it's not like 1, 2, it wasn't breadcrumbs. This is like nuggets. This is like, you could write out $5 million on a check, take it to the bank, and he has the money to back that up.
I'm telling you right now, there were some things that he said there that,
oh my gosh,
bucks, you hear me? And what's going to be scary is that, of course, you're going to see some of our guru who are going to sneak on and grab it on their own packaging and act as if they're the one who came up with it. Right? But things that we ordinarily wouldn't have heard from anywhere. So when you hear it anywhere else now, you know where it came from.
Right, from here. But I want to say
where it came from. And I want to say this. Having said that, TM everything, y'all. So this is where I'm gonna, you're gonna see, you're gonna it says claw. I don't know where you are before, but this particular one, I will claw you all out.
Yes. I want to say this too, and that interview yesterday, in sight of everything that was going on, talking about, you know, how the naysayers, the people on the outside, the thieves, this is one thing I realized, and it set something in the spirit realm. This interview yesterday of this man right here put you in a whole nother arena where you can't be followed and you can't be copied. I want to say that for everybody out there that's a hidden thief or a copycat. You're not going to be able to follow her. Because where God put her at now, you know, you can't step to that platform because you have not been processed, you have not been purified, and you've not been pruned to be on that platform. So just sit down somewhere, learn something, and get under real coverage. So if you're on the bus, stay on the bus. If you want to get on the bus, you will be scanned before you get on the bus. So you have no fees. And I'm definitely a person that will scan you, because I am the World Changers Sister Tribe Liaison. Sorry, I'm one person you have to go through. So anyway, back to that interview right there, that I saw it when because that level that man is on, he's on a very high level. And when I posted this out to one of my websites that have people from around the world that are other designers like me, the man allowed me to put it on there because he said, a lot of people will see that. A lot of people will want that. And I'll let the man know, this man is not looking for people. My leader on the founder is not looking for people. She just wants to give people access to free to hear this man, because this man is paid like high thousands to speak.
That's right.
So the man Jason was like, hey.
And you can tell yesterday, he's not looking for nothing. He's
right. That's what I told him.
Just an honor for him to.
Right. It's just more knowledge. So yesterday was, I don't know, just to me, I need to go back over, because that man is like walking wisdom, like a walking gold mine. And again, you all that know about the golden ticket, y'all, that was a for real golden ticket. No lie. Do not take that lightly, because I was listening to everything he was saying. Like, I didn't take notes because I needed to hear what he was saying. And that interaction with you both, I just know he's coming back. So Queen Karen,
he said, I look forward to the next time. I'm like,
oh yeah. Because that man is one thing.
I said, okay, now that you don't put it on writing, so I'm gonna say it.
I mean, he's humble, and the fact that he came on free, and he's paid like high, not like you said, 3,000, 10,000. That man's up there like a lot of us would not even be able to pay it like 10 years from now, maybe, or something. I don't know. We will be, but that man is at high level, and that even for him to humble himself to come on and share, and he was sharing a lot too. He wasn't like trying to withhold anything. You even had to stop him.
I had to stop him.
Yeah.
Like, no,
he was sharing a lot.
Not in open space like that.
Yeah, he was about to share. I mean, he was sharing to that level. Yeah, he was about to share a nugget, and you stopped him like, hold up, don't say that, because he's about to break a code. I'll say, thank you, Your Majesty, because people out there, thieves out there in the land, they would have like, whoop. They would have got that. You stopped them like, hold on.
That's right. Because even with this, I can see people scavenging this already.
Yeah.
People are going to scavenge this. So you can imagine. But I'm excited about the masterclass. I really, because he wasn't expecting it. When I mentioned it, his face was like, did you just He tried to get me back. But he was so graceful. He was such a graceful man with him because you could see his face like, Master what? But here's the thing though, with the masterclass, I intend to really fully go after this. So it's quite possible that I might be taking my own production crew out to where he is. He has a home here in Nashville. He has a home there in Washington. Either way, I already told them yesterday, you know, if you're here, I'm getting you. If you're there, I'm coming over with my crew. So either way, I'm getting you. Either way. So we're in the throes of trying to figure out what it is, what we know. I anticipate that if we're very successful with the first one, I can easily come back to him and say, okay, let's do this masterclass. Let's just talk about writing and the business of writing. And then the second masterclass, we can talk about speaking, the business of speaking. And the third one, we can say leadership and how do you move. So we can really do it that way, but we have to be make sure that the first one is incredibly successful. And the great news is with this, I know who he is. He's not going to do it for no. Because if he can come and do this for free, I don't anticipate him coming and saying, oh, this is, I don't. And so that's why it's going to be something that every one of us will be able to afford. Every one of us will be able to afford. And if you know that in 1.5 hours, you got all this from him, it will be crazy. I mean, just crazy if you hold on to your dollar and not attend a class that is really now going to now open up something that you've been looking for years. And now somebody is about to open the vault and you're like, you know, let me go that way. Then you need deliverance. If that happens, what I'm going to do on you is a heavy dose deliverance, because that's deliverance right there. So thank you, Tessa. Well, Jenny Jen, what do you have to say, my darling?
Wow, there's so many things that everybody really, really said. But when you first come, you know, face to face with the man like that, you kind of get intimidated and you're kind of like, oh, you know, how is he going to act? How is he going to react or anything like that? But he was just so humbling. He sat there. He, you know, answered every single question. He gave us so many nuggets, so many things. And I was like, what am I going to take out of this? Because I didn't really know what I was going to be taking out of this. Because I'm like, I'm not a writer. I don't know, you know, anything about writing or anything like that. But it's kind of like what Ramona said, you know, I'm the type of person too that's always been like jumping from doing so many things, because I can do so, you know, I can do this, I can do that, I can do, you know, and I can never figure out what my calling was, or what, you know, because I could, you know, everybody around me was like, you know, everybody around has something already that they know what they need, what they're wanting to do, and what is going, you know, what they have in their life, that's what they want to, you know, that's what their calling is. And so when you said, when you said, God told me to tell you you're an artist, and I'm like, yes, finally, I'm like, finally. But I think when he said about the, you know, you can sell the #1 book and be, you know, you can be the #1 book, but then also at the same time, you can also drop back down. You know, you can drop back down to just normal, you know, you can sell a book for millions of dollars, and then all of a sudden, you know, that other book, you can just not sell anything out of it. And then the other thing was when he said that people, sorry guys, I'm just kind of like all over the whole place because there's so many things that he said. But, oh gosh, where is it at? When he said that you can sell in bulks, like, you know, I thought what was interesting is he said, I have so many books that I have written that not only that, you know, that people don't even know about. But he packs them up and he sells them to churches as in bulks, you know, and he can make thousands of dollars out of that one book. But the little bitty book that, you know, isn't a really big seller, he sells them to churches and you know, in bulks, and he makes more money out of that, you know. It was just kind of like a little bit of the key points of so many things, and it kind of just like fascinated me because, you know, because my stuff that I make and clays and stuff like that, you know, you never know what piece is going to sell and what piece isn't. And so that's kind of like a little bit with what I took in on that. But he was very humbling. He, you know, and his books too, you know, Winston Churchill was a really, you know, I kind of read up on that because I'm so fascinated. I don't know why with the royal family, but Winston Churchill was a very awesome book. The way he spoke about his Christian life, but at the same time impacted his. So, but my interest in him is that how he traveled, you know, to China, to Tokyo. That's my question that I want to know about. Like, what impacted him to go in there, and what, you know, what was his interest about Tokyo, and what was his interest, because there's so many books about Tokyo, but what was his interest in the Asian culture is what I really want to know about on that.
Well, I guess we'll get to find that out some other time too, because I did include that in the overall questions that we have there. And I think with him, you know, he was what do you call it, army brat, and so
yeah, he's an army brat.
Yeah, so he got to travel with his family, and I think that got him into that interest, having that interest in cultures that are different. And even like with Africa, when he met the king, that was him getting to understand yet another culture. So I think being raised probably has something to do with that. And then here's the thing: if you call yourself a global influencer, you really have to open up and read about different cultures, not just about your culture alone, but read about different cultures. And with him, because of the type of writer that he is, who is somebody that loves history, that loves all those things, I can imagine. Yes, Andra, military brat. I can imagine him not wanting to learn more, right? Is somebody who's looking at Pope John Paul, writing on Pope John Paul, then you know he's gonna want to know more about Italy and all these kind of things. And you can really get sucked into it if you really love it. Like my husband now, he loves history. So I've been telling him now that he and I need to collaborate and come up with a series of novels, because he is a walking encyclopedia with history.
Yeah, he is.
He's just incredible that when we are traveling like this, he can choke me for hours just listening to tapes, collect tapes about, even listening to tapes about Africa. I said, well, wait a minute there. You're Africa. This is Africa here. So what you got? What's your brother? What's your question? You know, you don't have to pay for that tape. What's your question? But he loves it. He could go 8 hours driving just listening to Timbuktu and all this other, history, your history. And you have to get to that point if you really want to be global minded and you really want to learn more. And I think it gives you depth. When you do that, it gives you depth about that. And you, like all of you caught, he was so comfortable in who he was. He's not looking to do that because God has blessed him well and is comfortable with who he is and what he does. And when you even go, when I was trying to prepare for this, I said, well, let me go on your website. Where's all your media stuff? Then they gave me a passcode. I said, but I just thought I'd go on your website and click. He said, no. So he had the video that I shared was in the passcode.
Wow.
And everything in the passcode. He is that secure in his business, and the people that you have to look at the people that you serve, right?
Yeah.
You have to, so the kind of people that he serves probably don't need to, don't need that kind of exposure. They need to know that he's a classy guy doing things in a classy way. And so I got the password, I got it, and I saw a bazooka of all these things. I was like, but wait a minute, but how come it's not on his Facebook or on his whatever? So you have to learn to know where you're going. He's somebody that knows where he's going and he prepared for it.
And not only that, it's the passion that he has,
That's right.
We all have to have that passion, that impact inside of us in order, for people to see, not from the outer part, but from the inner part. Mm-hmm. And that's what I really loved about him, is that he's, he said, you have to be passionate. You have to dream, mm-hmm. and you have to, make a list and pray. When he said that at the end, that you've got to pray and you've got to have a team to schedule. I thought that was so, just so humbling and everything. The other thing was that you got to prioritize your life and say no.
That's right.
Because a lot of us have
or get to a Karen that will say no.
Yes, say no. And I was like,
or better, you might pretend to be a Karen and still say no. As long as somebody say no.
Yes, say no.
I'm just saying. You know what? No, you can't. Wait, look, I don't know, but as long as you just say that no.
Yeah. And then the group that Ramona was talking about, it's called the Mansfield Group. It's a media training firm that he has. Yeah.
And what he does with that is he trains thought leaders.
Yeah.
The presidents, like the senators and all of these people, and those are the ones that he says they call his company to come and clean up.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool one right there.
Yeah, that is a cool
one. So, it's cool, but then when you're in the throes of really doing it, it's not that cool, because you're hearing all the things you don't necessarily want to hear. You are praying to God for discernment on how to make this work. So it sounds cool to us from the outside, but in the inside, it's not as glamorous, because these are people's lives that you're being, that is unraveling, that you're trying to help put back together.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good thing that we have somebody like that in our pool that we can pull out of, that can show us and talk to us about how do you even get to somewhere like that people will call you to start doing something like that. And you could tell from him, he doesn't feel threatened not to share.
Yeah, I mean, he was willing to spill the beans out already, and you're like, no,
please.
That was like, no.
Well, that's what people tell me too on Periscope, and y'all be saying, "Ooh, he get too much today."
Yeah.
Hey, take it down. So I was trying to take it down for him yesterday, But okay, we have two more people and then we will wrap it up. Tony, after Tony, then Florida, and then we'll wrap it up.
Hi, Princess. For me, I was excited from what you said, but I had no real knowledge of him. So I was excited to see what we got, and I got way more than I expected. I thoroughly enjoyed, for me, some of the biggest nuggets were, as many of you know, that I struggle with like the education side of things, not getting my education. So to hear that we don't need an education, live within our passions. So to me, that was so just freeing. And to see a man, who's in very powerful place, but yet so humble, still so approachable. He was not moved he had not turned into a snob. He'd not been moved by the people he walked around with. He was just still a very beautiful, approachable person. And to me, that was the biggest thing that impacted me, just how he's remained so approachable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that blessed me hugely.
Awesome. Thank you for saying that, because when you talk about education, right, he is a man who's, of course, educated, right? But in this day, it's important to be life educated.
Yep. Life
experience educated. And that's why he's an advocate more of mentors and coaches than, okay, let's go get the the diploma, because if it's meant to be diploma,
Yeah.
so it's not like I don't have it, but I can tell you that I'm still waiting for it to pay off. What
Yeah,
I've
still got the debt to prove it.
paid off in my life is the connection and the people that I have impacted into, and those that have impacted into me, and people, places that I put myself in so that I can be cocooned, and I can, I can glean from people. I know when to sit myself down when I'm with him, and when the times that we are together, even outside of the scope, we respect each other. I don't call him name. He doesn't call me name. We give that respect, I often say, oh, mentee, mentor, and it's like, no. Because we know, because the circle that we all are, we know each other. And for a minute, I took myself off of that circuit for a minute and, came to do what I got to do. But now it's time to go right back on there again so that I can actually impact more people. It's better to be right up there so that I can be saying, there it is. And I think I will impact more people if I bump myself right back where God put me. There will be more impact. That way I can always look and say, oh, okay, can you come and do this? Instead of the way that I did it before, where I literally just quit the whole. I'm just grateful that they didn't give up on me. I quit the whole clown and then come here to be working, and I'm working harder with people who don't want to really do nothing, or they did something, but they have the hidden agendas. So there are times as God begins to build you up, you have to recognize that you don't necessarily have to come down, right? You don't have to be huffy about it either. You don't have to be prideful about it, but you have to understand that the ladder that God is climbing you is not for you alone. It's also for them, and it's not necessarily for you to come down, but it's for you to, as you rise, you leave whoever wants to. And those who don't want to, don't waste your energy, don't waste your time, don't waste your money, don't waste nothing. Just keep it moving. Because for every 10 that says they're not ready, or for every 10 that veers off, there's always one that really does need it. And if you can get that one to where you are, then you've done what God has called you to do.
Yep.
So, Florida.
I mean, I think that's one of the biggest takeaways from this. Like Jen was saying, he said, he has, 4, best, New York Times bestsellers, right? But the small books that are not in the bookstores or anything are the greatest ones that are making the greatest impact. And that was critical for him, is that impact. Okay. Now he has access, to these world leaders. I think the reason he has those access and people have called him to write these books is because of his humility. His humility, and that he's trusted. He is trusted to tell their story because of his humility, his consistency, and how he's impacted, and how he continues to impact so many lives. And I can see why you and him have connected, because you're in the same in the same boat where you have access to world leaders, to royalty, and all, but you remain humble because you want to go ahead and impact the lives of all of us here, because you see our assignment. You see, this is her assignment, and I could get her to where she needs to be if she just stays in that connection, that covenant, and that alignment. And by you honoring your alignment and knowing that you need to stay connected, we're able, you're modeling the behavior that we need to adopt to continue to stay in alignment, maintain that covenant, so that we can fulfill what we've been called to do. So it was just phenomenal. The entire, interview is just, literally, you could get so many nuggets from that and make a whole package, series.
That's right.
Shared. But the biggest thing is how humble he's remained, how true to his calling has kept him focused to not give in to all the noise of people's needs and opportunities, and make
That's
sure
right.
he stays in alignment to what he's been called to do. And by doing so, God has trusted him and opened up doors that nobody else would have opened up for him. And he's having an impact, and clearly he's having an impact in our lives. I mean, I gleaned a lot from that, and I'm glad that I was in alignment with you so that I can have access to him and be fed yesterday. So I want to thank you for that, and so I just wanted to thank you for that.
Well, I tell you what, this has been really great. I really look forward to, I don't know who next, I don't know what next, but I know God is percolating somebody again that is next in line. I think that this is my season now. The season that I'm in right now is to bring powerhouse people into the presence of those who have labored within the World Changer Sister Tribe and even outside, because those who know you now get to benefit from it, either they want it or not, they get to benefit. Now it's their choice if they choose it. And the sad part is we still have some so-called wannabe celebrities, leaders, so-called leaders on Periscope that could have benefited yesterday. But because they want to maintain their so-called celebrity, they missed that. Now, some showed up, but some missed it because they still want to maintain that. But then in the middle of the night now, guess who's going to be on that Facebook when nobody's seen them? It's going to be them. So we have to learn humility wherever we are in whatever we do. And if there's anything that I took away yesterday is also the tribe that God gives you. You don't have to part ways with your tribe. Let me say that again. They are there, right? Even as God elevates you, they are expanding too. You carry them along because they're expanding. But the mistake that people do is that when God starts igniting something, then they think, oh, I don't have time. And the first thing they drop is that same conduit that opened up the floodgate. And that is where we make the error, because we get to a point, then it just stops. It stops. And then you're saying, but wait a minute, I was having such a high ride. How did it stop? It's because you cut the flow. It's because you cut the flow. So if you hear what he was saying yesterday, he still has his tribe, Brian brought. They evolve as you evolve. They evolve too. And your role is to also prayerfully carry them along too. As you go, as God takes you somewhere, then you carry them along. For me, I carry Sister Tribe along with me. And anywhere I am right now, if I'm speaking to any thought leader, I'm sitting there, the first thing in my head, without even me open my mouth to them, is, how am I going to get them to Sister Tribe? That's what comes up in my mind, because I carry you along. And so if God starts to open doors for you, you have to remember to carry your Sister Tribe along and say, this is an opportunity. How can I bring this to the other sisters? And that's how everybody grows. And that's how the tribe grows. And that's how global influence happens. That's how you impact globally. You could see from his face, he has such a peace about him. He's just like, that man has such a peace on his face, in his demeanor, in the way he looks, the way he speaks. There's such a peace. And that's the peace that you experience when you finally get it, that you don't have to please everybody, right? And you finally get it that, yeah, the church folk might not understand it. Yes, your pastor might go sideways on you on that one. Yes, your best friend might say, now here and go cuckoo. But if you know, with him, he knew exactly. He said it. I knew when it was time to cut the thing and say, okay, pastor, move the gear now. He knew it. And we have to know it too. And I think with us, that's where we're missing, because we get confused a lot because we want to please everybody, want to carry everybody along. There's a time and season when you carry people along. And there's a time and season where you're learning and you're just growing so that you can now go and carry people along. But many of us, we're growing and we're trying to carry people along at the same time, and you fail. That's massive failure right there. That's massive failure. So thank you all so much for being a part of this. I think Ramona Phillip has a show after this. I really thank you all so much. Please keep the questions coming. I'm going to start working with them today again to see how we can really tape, because we have to do this video taping of this masterclass. I don't want it to linger on for too long. I want it to be something that we can, so that we can look at it, learn from that, and see. Because once you found a dream maker, then it's on to you what you do. You can either let your dream maker, you can either do this and let that dream maker just go on and move on to the next agenda, or you can say, hey, you're my dream maker and you ain't going nowhere yet. So, and I think this is us saying, hey, you're my dream maker, you're not going nowhere yet. Sister Tribe and Brother Tribe is saying, you're not going not anytime soon. Hold it. All right. So I'm going to do my part, and I just need all of your prayers to continue to help me do my part. If you do not have a copy of Crack the Code Perry Jewels, I really urge you to sign up for it at Storyteller Bistro, because that's part of the things that is going to bless you too, is some of my old periscopes, and I'm working my way into the new one. And it's really amazing because I go back to the old one. It's like, oh my heavens, prediction is like prediction into the forward. I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I remember this? Why didn't I know this before I did this? It's amazing when you go back to the old things and you're looking, and it's like, but he spoke, you just weren't listening. Princess, he spoke, you just were not listening. And so that's what I've been getting from my old Crack the Code periscope. Now it's like, oh, this man has been speaking for quite some time. I just have been too busy not listening. So please get your time, get yours if you have not. Thank you, Linda. If you have not been a part of it, please do sign up for it. It's a subscription. It's going to change as soon as we officially launch Storyteller Bistro. Those who are there right now, we will move you on so that you will now have, there will be more access where I'll be doing live streaming inside, which means that if I'm doing live streaming inside, then I got to back up a little bit from all the free 99s that I've been doing, so that it's worth it for those who take their time to really sign up for it. Because bottom line is, it's also a business for me. I am learning. If I don't intentionally do that, I'm one of those that can just give, and just forget. I forget that I have light bills. I'm telling you right now, that is the way I'm wired. And so people literally have to stop me. And that's why I have mentors in my life that literally stop me and say, well, what have you made this week? And that's the question that makes me very uncomfortable when they come back and say, what did you make this week? Did you make anything this month? And I'm like, oh, gee, I made something. You know, I impacted life. They say, well, that's all good, but did you make something this month? That's my question to you. And they see when I start dodging questions, they know what I've done. So that's part of me. Just help me promote me out there, get some people to buy some stuff. You are also affiliates. All of you, if you bought anything inside of Storyteller Bistro, you are an affiliate already. And whoever you introduce to anything, that's 10% to you. So I rely on you guys to help me move this, because I spend so much time trying to do this that I don't move as much as the business people on Periscope do. Many of them, they know they get their money, they get it done, but I don't do that. I don't. So I rely on people organically to even say, you know what, she doesn't do it often. Why can't we just move this for her? So thank you so much. Bye, Edith. Yes, Andrea, they keep me in check. Yes, they do. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. God bless you all. And let me go in and go do my stuff. And I know you guys have things to do too. So bye, everybody. Please watch the replay. Hey, Latoya, watch the replay. Hold on a second. Let me just stop it before you all start going.
I'm going to come on at 10:30.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Oh, you come on at 10:30? Okay. Anybody want to do any last minute summary? Any last minute?
I'll just say again, thank you, Princess, for all that you do. You are an awesome leader. You are showing us the ropes and using your life as an example. And I'm just so excited about doing in World Changer Sister Tribe and where the Lord is taking us. And in your patience, possess you your soul. Little, one step at a time. We're growing. We're gelling together. We had our storming period, and then we're becoming more solid as a tribe, and it's going to get better. So I just encourage everybody to stay the course. If you're not a member of World Changer Sister Tribe, and God is calling you to the tribe, because this may not be your tribe.
That's right.
If it's not your tribe, it's not your tribe. But if God is calling you to World Changer Sister Tribe to be a voice, and I've noticed that most of the people, especially in leadership and some of the other members, all had their voice silenced in some kind of way. They introvert in some kind of way. And this is an opportunity for us to come together, to come out of our shells, to come out of ourselves so that we can make that greater impact in the world. And we have a leader that God has placed in our midst who is some of the same things that we are, and has done some of the things that we're attaining to. So we value you, we appreciate you, and we love you. And I'm rooting for you. I'm praying for you, and I'm pushing you up, and I'm elevating you.
Thank you.
And just be patient with me. I may be a little slow to catch on to.
You're not slow, Ramona. You just need to get out of your own head. What you need to do? Nothing. Just get it for a second. Just say, excuse me, head, I need to take a break from you. That's what you need to say. Head, brain, can I take a rate check on that?
Disconnect. but we're coming. We're all coming, and together we are better. And we pull our talents together, and we all come together as one tribe, one sisterhood. It's going to be amazing when we look back down the road and look where God has brought us from. So I'm just excited, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
I would like to say something very briefly.
Yes.
I agree with Ramona 100%. And I'm not going to say always. I usually thank you, Princess, and usually tell you how much we appreciate you, how much we love you, and how grateful we are that you answered the call. Because we have a free will. You didn't have to answer the call. You had to adhere. You had to submit to the Holy Spirit to answer the call, to serve us. So we just want to say we love you, and we really appreciate you, and we are all better. I've only been a part of this tribe. I don't even know now. Maybe 6-7 months now. I'm losing track. I want to know when I joined, to tell you the truth. But I didn't realize it was going to have such a.
That's why.
Yeah, right. I don't even know, but I don't think it's been a year yet. But I also didn't know the impact that World Changer Sister Tribe was going to have on my life. So I just want to say again, thank you for everyone that's a part of this tribe. And I hope everyone stays on the bus that's supposed to be on this bus, okay? And we definitely want you to stay on the bus, Princess, okay? You better stay on the bus, and we got a runaway bus.
That would we got the problem right there. That was the problem. which means that you all are tying me out. So now I quit. I'm like, you all can have your bus. I'm out.
Look, we know you staying on this bus.
No, I'll say no. You stay on the bus. I'll come up in the train.
You're gonna train one of us as a temporary driver or something. What? No. You nominated as the permanent driver. You and God, you and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
And I'm with Ramona. I sometimes I get these little visions, or just I can feel it in my spirit that there's gonna come a time where we are going to be celebrating big time. We might be in Hawaii somewhere. I see us in Hawaii or somewhere. It's like looking at each other like, y'all remember them days? Like when we first came in. I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
All right.
So we want to thank you, and I look forward to those days where we're going to
Amen.
celebrate. We're going to celebrate. And may we continue to celebrate the victories that we're having now.
That's right.
Along the way. So I'm grateful. I'm looking forward to just seeing what's next and what's God going to do next, through whom, through yourself, through other leaders. I'm excited. I know the favor of God is on World Changers Sister Tribe and Brother Tribe.
That's right. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Ramon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
And thank you for your transparency too. You know, we love you, and even though that we're learning on the process, but we are also, you know, you're also learning on the process with us, and that's what I love about you. That's what I really truly love about you, is that you're learning too. So thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Jen. Yes, I am learning.
That's God's way of doing
This
things.
is me first. Crack, crack, crack on my head. I'm like, what? Did you just do that? Did you do that? Did you help me out like that, the Holy Ghost? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Florida.
I just wanted to, a message to Dr. Mansfield, being that his heart is in making sure that whatever he does impacts. And so I want to, I'm sure that he's seen it by all these women here speaking, but he may not know what we all do. And so what I want to say is that whatever Dr. Princess Fumi Hancock is involved with, she is fertile ground. And I want him to be assured and trust, you know, the leadership of sharing with, you know, leading him to continue to sow into what Princess is doing, and because she is impacting in a significant way the lives of all these women that are part of this group that have been commissioned to impact this world for God's kingdom. So I just want to say, you know, she is definitely fertile ground. She has very humbly, unselfishly, you know, loved us and poured into us so that we can be stretched and grow and do what we've been called to do and gain the confidence to do it. So please just, you know, we really look forward to this master classes that you're going to be doing.
Oh, look at that, Florida. Now you're catching on. You are catching on.
You have not because you ask not. So master
That's right.
That you'll be working with, because he is looking from a global perspective and how he impacts in terms of leadership. And I think that you are that leader for us as women. And I think it'll be a great collaboration between you and he. And so I just wanted to just put that little message to Dr. Mansfield.
Thank you for saying that. He'll get it. I'll make sure he gets it.
Yes, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier about his foundation, where he's raising money to be able to take leadership to people who can't afford it. But since his focus is mainly on men, and you're for women, and we're all world changers.
That's right. Look at Ramona. You're like catching on quick.
Yeah, so we need to open doors opening in some places that we can come in and be trained as leaders while we're giving out. And making impact. When we make something happen for other people, when we cause other people to live their dreams, to come up to their fullest potential, it is what we were meant to do. And to have that training opportunity. And I'm even, you know, saying, hey, I'll volunteer, you know, for learning, for the training. Because again, I got the book knowledge, but I need the real world experience. I need to be able to out there on the field touching.
That's right.
Live. So I'll even raise my hand to say, hey, if you're looking for somebody to do leadership, I have some book knowledge. I need some world experience. So I'll even volunteer my time to help raise up leaders and to help inspire the leadership in other people that may be lying dormant. And even as I awaken my own leadership and come out of hiding and stop playing small to play more country in the world, I'm willing to lift somebody else up as I rise.
That's right. Amen to that. And what's important is the life experience is important. About 3 or 4 times now that I've taken people to Africa with me, that's all they've done. The last time I took about 22 people or something like that, and they had the opportunity to actually train traditional rulers from all over that region. They had the opportunity to train not just educators. They were able to actually, the king actually ordered them to go and train. The king ordered them to go and train all of his chiefs, which we're talking about 80 chiefs. So, I mean, that said, it was quite an incredible experience for them, because here they didn't get to, the people that I took, people that are really they didn't have the ability, not the ability, they didn't have the access to live here. And so to now take them to Africa, and they have access to train, access to train the governors, all the governors' cabinets, the commissioners, access to do that, and then them bringing their video to bring it here. You know what that did to, of course, none of them now, I don't know where they are. They never raised a dime, but it's okay. That's another story. But that's where I'm learning to now. I'm growing and I'm learning, and I'm going to be fierce with selection now, and then the rules and regulations, because I'm not going to let people go and do that rape. It's not going to happen again. It's happened before, but it's not going to happen again. But through those who are today, it's a great opportunity when you're out there in Africa, really training people that matter, training commissioners and training governors and training traditional rulers, and looking at principals in all that region, health directors in all that region is really rewarding. It's rewarding. And part of positioning yourself as a speaker, isn't it?
Yes.
When you position yourself as a speaker.
Hallelujah.
Yes. So I raised my hand.
Okay, my darling.
My hand.
Anybody want to say anything else? That's it. That's it. Okay.
Thank you,
everybody.
And thanks to everybody for watching. All of our live viewers, all of our web viewers, and all of our replay viewers watching us around the world. Thank you.
When we're done, please share it. When we're done, go into that place and share that link out so that other people can watch your replays. So thank
you, Princess, for this, and thank you for arranging Stephen to come in to do it with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you, and thank you, Princess. Thank you, Stephen Mansfield.
Yes, thanks, Dr. Mansfield. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing more of you.
That's right. In the master classes.
Yes.
Yeah. In the master classes. So let's give hook Princess up with Karen, of course. Thank you all for being here, all live viewers, and thank you for replay viewers.
Thank you, everybody. Bye now.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
All right. I think we are, let me make sure we are off.